Hi and welcome everyone to this Terran vs Protoss guide. I am Kairu from StarcraftStory.com. We are playing on Backwater Clutch or whatever this map's name is. I actually hate this map, but I always forget to video it. Anyway, we are playing against a Protoss player, of course, and it is on High Masters level on the ladder. We are opting for a macro build, and with this build we are going to make one barracks with one marine, two marauders, one reaper, and then push with that, try to gain some scouting information. And while we do that, we're also going to expand, adding on a few more barracks and then try to go into mid game basically. So we're adding our barracks, actually. And on 13 we're adding the gas, so it is very standard. This build is fairly safe, I would say. Your goal is basically to try to catch the stalker out on the map. Sometimes you can catch one stalker and one zealot on the map, and that is basically perfect. A perfect scenario. If you manage to do that, you should be able to win. So we're making our orbital and our marine. Ideally, you would like to chase that probe out of your base before you add a tech lab, but at the same time you can't wait too long for the tech lab to start building. Basically, I can't really wait anymore for the tech lab, so I'm starting it, and he's really low on health, but he's actually controlling his probe perfectly, and he is managed to scout that tech lab. So I really need to scout now, making my marauder and concussive shells. We actually have a problem now with scouting, because at the 4-minute mark, 4 minutes and 10 seconds, basically his stalker will pop out of his gateway. So scouting with this timing is, well, it's basically unnecessary, because your SCV will die the second you get to his ramp. So I think that it is better to wait until you think that his stalker has left his base. So basically around maybe 4 minutes and 50 seconds or 5-minute mark. With this build you should be fairly safe. So if your scout is slightly later, it's not the end of the world, I guess. Making our command center, making our reaper, adding 2 additional barracks. And we are checking cross position, and he isn't there. Ooh, and we had 2 stalkers there. It would have been perfect to catch them, but unfortunately we didn't. Okay, with this particular build I would say that okay, so now we saw his nexus, so we will feel really safe. There's no need to worry about any kind of all-ins, which is good, I guess. Just getting my engineering bay up, pumping up my units, getting my second orbital, adding yet another barracks. The problem right now is that I'm not really sure what my opponent is doing, and we're already in to the 7-minute mark. Basically, he could go for a 6-gate with an expansion, which will put a lot of pressure on us, and I won't be able to hold. So I really need to make some kind of pressure right now. I think that I have a really good timing. My stim pack is just about to finish, so I think that is a good timing to pressure. This pressure is basically the only thing I want to do is to scout. I want to figure out what my opponent is doing. So okay, so we can see 3 gates and 1 robo, yet another gateway popping up at the bottom. So just doing some microing, trying to kill off some probes, and then suddenly our units are getting targeted, which I really didn't want to enter this battle, but I didn't really have any choice. It's better to fight in that situation than to try to get away. We killed off a few stalkers, and I actually think that that was cost efficient by me. I'm adding on a lot of barracks now because I could see that he had a lot of gateways. My scouting was actually a bit too late. I'm reacting a bit too late, I think, but main priority right now is to get the bunkers up, try to delay him as much as possible, because this is going to be really hard to hold. One of the bunkers is up, and ooh, the second bunker just died. Really need to get my bunkers up. I do have the watchtower, and I can see that he is warping in more and more units. Trying to get a few medivacs up as well, because that would help me tremendous in the defense. Just doing everything I can to hold this as good as possible, basically. I'm trying to keep my eye on the minimap to see if he's warping in anything more, but it seems like he's built a pylon closer to my base now. Trying to get more medivacs up, because my medivacs right now are completely out of energy. Basically, he's been spending a lot of minerals on units. He's been producing quite a lot, but so I'm doubting that he's been taking that much. What I want to do right now is I want to get a few more units up. I want to get some get my energy up on my medivac so that I can start making a push. Oh, and then he's making another big attack. Again, this time I have to draw a lot of SOEs trying to repair. But it seems like I am going to hold. It will be really, really hard though. Killing off the silos is perfect, because the stalkers are very fragile. Okay, I actually feel really safe now. I do have +1 upgraded. Can push out now, kill off these both of these pylons actually. Ooh, overstimmed my units there. At the same time, I have floated one of my factories down down to the left side of the map. It's to 6 o'clock. What I want to do with that factory is to scout his main base to see what kind of tech is going later on. I would really like to put more pressure on my opponent right now, and I also would like to check my opponent's tech tree right now, but the problem is that I don't have any energy for my medivacs, so I really need to get more medivacs up. Medivacs are useless without energy, so right now I'm thinking that, okay, so he's still on 2 base. I need to try to get make some pressure basically. Um, I'm guessing that he's upgrading charge now. He's maybe trying to get up to Templar tech. That is what I am guessing, because he made so many gateways. He won't really be able to afford going up to a Colossi tech with all those gateways. And scanning, and okay, so I'm actually seeing an Immortal. I think that I can take off those 2 sentries. They both have a lot of energy, but picking them off is, I think, a good idea. And this ended up being a really good trade for me, but it's warping in even more sealots, so it looks like I'm going to die with all my units, but actually not. I could have reinforced, waypointed my units maybe to this position instead. That would have been safe as well. I really don't like to reinforce all my units to my army. I don't think that it is safe enough. So floating around here, and we see, oh, he's actually upgrading Storm now. That is very crucial timing I have now. I really need to kill him off before, or I do a lot of damage before Storms gets up. But this guy, I mean, he's got so many gateway units. It's actually insane how much he's pumping up. I'm actually starting to suspect that he's up on 3 base, because I can't really believe that he's able to support all this on 2 base. I mean, he's got a lot of gateways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gates, and so I'm scanning his 3rd base, and it is actually up. I'm really surprised, but I am actually at the same time making my own 3rd expansion, killing off whatever I can, and then just loading up and idling my dropship somewhere just to put some pressure, or what I should say. I mean, that the dropship that is up in the left side now, this dropship is putting pressure on him, even though it's just idling there, because he has to think about that dropship. Where did it go? Is it still there? Is it still putting pressure on my 3rd expansion? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to try to make a drop in his main base. The idea I have is I want to go in and kill his Templar archives, but I'm not really sure if that will be possible, because his Templar archives is so deep inside his base. And actually I cancelling that mission, because I don't think I'll be able to get there in time. Trying to make a double attack, killing off whatever I can, and then just loading my units, getting away. Ooh, lucky it doesn't feedback me actually. Attacking and taking my 3rd expansion at the same time, killing off even more probes. I think that this guy is being really greedy with his expansions. I mean, he's been making so much probes. Oh, are we really going to get away? Yeah, I think so. Okay, my goal right now is to I need to get some ghosts up, because I'm not able to fight his gateway army to get rid Storm without ghosts. Also looking at my upgrades, I have 1-1. I need to get up to more. Where are my upgrades? This base is getting mined out. Where the hell is my engineering bay?
Mineral field depleted.
I think I'm going blind. Ah, there it is. Okay, so I have 1-1. I remade my factory so that I can make my armory. And this guy is putting a lot of pressure on us now. With a lot of Archons, and holy fuck, I'm miscontrolling that. I'm actually going to whine and say that that was my keyboard's fault. I'm going to replace my keyboard. I tried to EMP and do whatever, but I couldn't. So anyway, looks like we're fine. I don't think that it made the best storms, and I eventually got my EMPs off. So that was a really cost-efficient defense, even though it was sloppy. I would like to know my opponent's upgrades. I mean, it's almost impossible to keep go toe to toe with the Protoss players' upgrades. I mean, it's since they're chrono boosting, but you need to try to stay on top of your upgrades, upgrade as much as possible, especially weapon upgrades. If he's got 1 armor, you have to have 1 weapon upgrade. If he's got 2 armor, then you need to have 2 weapon upgrade. Because otherwise his zealots together with the sentry shield will just rip through your marines. Okay, so I would like to make some kind of pressure on him. This is just a very small attack, and I don't have any intentions of killing him at all. This is an attack that I can get in and get out really quickly. Put some pressure on my opponent. As you can see here, actually going to pause here. I sent my marine up to scout when his army is coming, so that I can quickly stim and get the hell out of here. Am I even stimming? It doesn't seem like I need to. No, I didn't even need to stim. If I wouldn't have sent this marine to his death here, poor marine, but he saved all his comrades. I mean, otherwise I would have seen his units here and he would have charged. He would probably be able to feed back my medivacs, my ghosts and stuff like that. I would most likely have lost half of my army. These are really important small details. Going back to my perspective, and I guess I'm unloading these units. Okay, so far my natural expansions minerals are almost mined out. I really need to get my 4th base up quickly. Everything needs to be done quickly, it seems. I actually clicked on his units and saw his upgrades for 2-1. And I am currently 1-1. So I'm upgrading my weapon and making a second engineering bay, because I need to keep up with the upgrades. So far we haven't seen any colossi. I think that we are now going into the later stages of the game. The hard part with going into this stage of the game as a Terran player is, I think, you need to adapt your army after the Protoss player. It's not the other way around. If he decides to make a tech switch to Colossi, you need to make a tech switch to Vikings. If he's going a lot of Archons, then you need to have a lot of Ghosts. If he's going a lot of Stalkers, then you need to have a lot of Marauders. If he's going super Zealot heavy, you need to have a lot of Marines in your army composition. Basically, you need to try to find a good mix of Marines and Marauders and Ghosts, compared to what his army is consisting of. Looking at my army now, I would say that considering what we have scouted, this is too marauder heavy. I would have liked to have 2 more ghosts and, well, a few more marines, because right now what we have seen is a lot of zealots, a lot of archons, and the marauders doesn't really do well against the zealots and the archons. What they're doing well against is colossi and stalkers, together with Vikings. Marines are also the main DPS of our army. So it looks like we have a lot of Marines on the way though, which is a good thing. But continuing with the game, checking at my perspective here. Getting my armor upgrade. Sorry. This is a very common thing that Protoss players do. They send one High Templar to storm your entire army, and usually they actually land the storms. What you need to do is to back off with your army, take 2 or 3 marauders. 3 is actually better. I think I aimed for 3, but I only catch 2. Stim them and try to kill the High Templar. Fortunately I failed this time. But this is a very elegant, nice dance. Terran versus Protoss late game. This happens a lot, and that is very cost efficient. I am suspecting that he's got an observer somewhere here, because he's doing this a few times. Okay, I really want to attack now. I think two High Templars are down. It would be perfect to be able to attack now. Also, I'm a little afraid of, yet another storm coming in. Okay, now I'm positive that he's got an observer here, otherwise he wouldn't have known that my army was still there. Also, we saw the colossi there, which is really interesting. Now, suddenly my marauders are... I mean, it's good that I have the marauders there. And there we had the observer. I really would like to have taken my 4th base now. I'm being really slow on that. I don't know why. I think I'm slightly worried about the colossi. I'm almost maxed, and I don't really have so much supply to spare for Vikings. I'm getting my personal cloaking and a nuke. I am getting the nuke because of the style that this guy had. He spread all his units and basically had a very defensive position here. It is really hard for me to attack into this, because I can't just attack and try to EMP everything I see. It just won't work, because all my units will probably come streaming in a big line, and the only thing he needs to do is to storm this direction and maybe basically these positions. If I'm able to just place a nuke here, he will suddenly have to move all his units, and just by forcing him to move them, he is automatically going to clump everything together. His basically his hold or his position will be fucked, and I can just cancel the nuke, stim in and attack, EMP the clump, and it should be a lot better position basically. If I don't get the opportunity to use my nuke in a certain situation like that, then the nuke is also good. It doesn't take up any supply, and it's only 100. Maybe I will be able to sneak a ghost to maybe nuke here, maybe nuke here, or maybe one of his other bases if he's got any. So I think that in the late stage of the game, nuke is a very good tactical upgrade or thing to get. I don't know if it's an upgrade or whatever it is. Anyway, moving on with the game. What I want to do, I want to put pressure on his bases. I'm almost 100% sure that he's got at least one more base. So far this guy has been slightly greedy with his expansion, so it's definitely not impossible that he's on 2 bases, but um, I'm thinking so far that he's on 1 more base. Okay, keeping on with the game, he's making a counterattack. I think it's the correct decision by him. I think that he's coming in a big stream with his units. To me that is good, because I will be able to get a really good spread on my units, because my units are also in a big line, his units in a big line. His High Templars will probably come up, yeah, as you can see here, in a big clump, so I will be able to EMP them perfectly. Going back to my camera position, to my player camera, and press play. Okay, just stimming and attacking, getting off really good EMPs, and do I have any EMPs left for his High Templars? I think I do, but they are already in range. I should have thrown EMPs at this direction, even if his High Templar wasn't in range, because they will walk into range. Okay, so I'm getting off really good EMPs, and his storms are being really sloppy and really bad. Okay, now we have the perfect timing to kill off expansions. I'm only on 1 base right now, mining from this base, and long distance mining from this base. I have no idea why I still haven't landed it. I guess that I'm too low on APM. I'm on 167 APM, and I don't know, maybe I'm spamming too much. Anyway, so I'm instantly scanning to see, okay, so he's on 1 more base. I need to take the base out. And unfortunately I split my units a bit. Okay, so he's got a lot of zealots there. Basically, I think that it should be completely impossible for him to match my army. But he actually had a lot more units than I thought. And again, now we're in this position. We have a lot of marauders against a lot of zealots. It's not good. The marauders do very little damage against his zealots. His zealots do a lot of damage on my marauders. And my DPS is low. Okay, so I have landed my 4th expansion. Trying to go for this base now. But still, I feel that I need 1 more base. So it seems like my opponent is down to 3 bases now. So it is 3 base against 4 base. And I'm feeling very confident now. I know that I won't be able to kill his army, but I'm trying to be as cost efficient as possible. I think that I could have flied away with my medivacs earlier, so throwing up 2 more command centers. I think that I'm in a good position to do that. Basically, I had the minerals. I am pumping units. Just building something on the high ground so that I get a vision. So far, I think my opponent has been really bad with harassing with Dark Templars. I think harassing with Dark Templars in late game is super important factor of Protoss. A lot of Protoss players forget that, and I think that, well, that's the game deciding thing that they're just skipping. Ooh, I don't know why I scanned top right. I guess the 12 o'clock. I just want to see if maybe he's made a hidden expansion, or maybe if he had a pylon there or whatever. So cloaking, and oh shit, I didn't have any energy for EMPs left, but snipe is good as well. I would actually trade one Ghost for one High Templar any day, because when all these High Templars are dead, my Bio army will be better than his Gateway army. So trying to attack yet another time from this direction. I know that his army is at the very top of the base, top of the map, so I think that is a perfect timing to attack this base. Just kill and get the hell out of there, because there is no need for me to engage his army. I know that I am ahead, I know that I have more expansions coming up. I am right now landing my expansions in the top base, making planetaries, of course. And right now I think that my opponent is getting a bit desperate, because his supply is low, he's down on bases, he's, well, doesn't have a very good income, I guess. Basically, I know that my supply is a lot higher than his. I'm just trying to attack this in a, well, fairly cost-efficient way, but I'm failing. Killing those Claw Eyes, all those High Templars and Archons, basically this ends the game. And of course he just left, no GG, nothing. Okay. Going back to the opening. This opening, I think, is a very strong opening on all levels. Of course it is a very high level opening as well, but I think it will work on even lower leagues. Getting the tech lab up. The SCV that built this barracks should go instantly out to scout. I didn't send it for scouting because this pro was just being really annoying, and I just forgot about it. But that's actually a very bad excuse, because not scouting his gas, not scouting if he's going for a very early expansion, basically puts me in a guessing position, and we never ever want to guess. I want to be in a position where I can ask myself, okay, what is my opponent doing? And I should have a good idea of what he is doing, and if I don't, I should be in a position where I should have the opportunity to scout him and gain the information. And I also want to be in a position where I want to ask myself, okay, what is my opponent doing? And that timing shouldn't be at the 7-minute mark, because that is actually like 20 seconds before a 4-gate hits. It doesn't even matter if I scout a 4-gate by that time. I won't be able to protect against it. What I want to do is at the maybe 6-minute mark, okay, what is my opponent doing? Now I have to hurry up and scout, because if I scout him now at the 6-minute mark, I will be able to react to the 4-gate, to the let's say to the expansion that he's building If I am making my expansion, then okay, I know that I'm safe. I don't need to spend minerals on 3 bunkers. What I can do is to spend a bit more money or a bit more minerals on my economy to get that rolling. I need to get my barracks up, get my upgrades up, and then maybe at let's say 1 minute later, maybe maybe 1 minute later, I can ask myself again, okay, what's my opponent doing, and try to scout him, because then the important thing will be his tech. Is he going for 6 gate pressure? Is he going for maybe some kind of quick colossi? Is he going, what is he going basically? I always have to know what my opponent is doing. Going back to this build order, making the Marauder with concussive shells, making the second Marauder with concussive shells, pausing. Okay, now I'm in a position where I can pressure. It doesn't matter if he expands, if he's going for a 4 gate, if he's going for a DT build, it doesn't matter. With these units, I can put pressure on him. I can move out with this. I am not doing it because I'm not following the build order, not following what I should do, but that is what I can do. Okay, moving out with these. Oh, holy crap, if I would have moved out with these, I could have caught these stalkers in the middle of the map. I could have caught one of them, I could have caught both of them. Both of them would have been instant GG. If I would have caught both of them, I would have made 2 more barracks, 1 more barracks, something like that. I would have grabbed a few SCVs, just attacked and bunker up. I would have killed this expansion, taken my own expansion. Basically that. It's a good trade. If I only would have been able to kill 1 stalker, I maybe still would have put pressure on him. But I wouldn't maybe bring 5 SCVs, I would maybe bring 2 SCVs. And just made a really good trade, my army for his army. Okay, so even now I am able to attack into this, but I feel that it's dangerous. It's not really worth it. I'm not really 100% sure of this gateway timing. I mean, it is 2 seconds left before his warp gate is done, so if I attack into this and he warps in a few silots here, then I'm in a huge loads of trouble. And he does warp in the silots, so this is a perfectly good decision to turn around. I think that on this particular map I am going back with the Reaper, because I don't have any good exit options with my Reaper. If I jump in here, my Reaper is dead and there's nothing to it. Therefore I'm deciding to go back with the Reaper, save it for another push, maybe for my Stimpack push, and make yet another scouting then. I am feeling fairly safe. The only thing that I feel is really dangerous against what I'm doing is a 6 gate pressure. Okay, so soon after I am going towards this expansion again, scouting. Okay, I'm saying, ooh, I only saw 4 gates. Actually, now you're saying, haha, you only saw 3 gates, but if you see this blue thing here, you can actually see it. You see the gateway there finishing up, and then you see the thing here. It's a bit blurry, but he actually went up to 5 gates. I didn't know that, so I don't like that. I don't like when I'm in the dark and I don't know exactly what my opponent is doing. But anyway, I think it's time to just end this game. I've been talking a lot about it. Make sure to check out my blog, guys. It's starcraftstory.com, and check out my stream on Team Liquid. Post in my Team Liquid forum thread for my stream. It would be really nice if I sometime got featured. So yeah, thank you for watching, and make sure to check out the rest of the videos in this guide. Bye.